Hi everyone, welcome. It's been a little while since I've posted a video and I wanted to do an energy update for the twins. This week has been a little bit difficult energy. A lot of triggers for me, a lot of triggers bringing up things that still need to be healed on my part, and a lot of death energy. I'm finally feeling a little bit better and a little bit more energized, and wanted to come on and do a reading for everyone. So I was just organizing my space before starting, and we did have a couple of cards pop out. Let me just clear the energy and call in my guides. So we already had a couple of cards pop out. We have, for the Divine Masculine's energy, we have the Warrior. And for the Divine Feminine polarity, we have High Priestess of the Earth. I feel like these are the energies that both polarities are embodying. The masculine is being called into this warrior energy where he's alone and he is forced to take a look at the path that he is choosing to go down. And which path is it that he wants to fight for? And he's coming out of his ego energy more into this warrior energy, fighting with his spirit, being led by his spirit. It's a little difficult to see, but his eyes look a little different than they normally would here. So he's seeing things in a different light. It almost reminds me of a wolf in the night, just almost being led by his instinct. And then for the feminine, we have High Priestess of the Earth. I feel like she's being called, to connect with the earth and ground herself, but also being pulled into more of this 3D world. Like, she is used to living up in the 5D, more in a dreamy state where the energy is comfortable. The energy is more comfortable than in this 3D world, because there's this look of like despondency and sadness as she's looking at this 3D world. And this card is also calling you to wait for any changes in the 3D that you have not seen yet before you take any action. And like, her sadness is kind of directed towards him, and he's looking forward, almost like envisioning his future and what he wants that to look like. We also have the Conclusion card. So I feel like this is the conclusion of a cycle. It says chapter 1 and then the end. So this card has a couple of different meanings. I feel like there are some cycles closing for the masculine and feminine. Both are continuing to learn lessons. There is some cycle closing out, like with this heavy death energy that I've been feeling. It's been a little bit confusing. Almost just feeling this very intense energy of like wanting change, not, I was going to say wanting separation, but wanting separation from like current energies, current circumstances. They aren't working any longer. Like, they're unacceptable. moving forward is how I have felt. But this is also a reminder that this connection is faded. Like the pages in between chapter 1 and the end are empty. So that's sort of for us to write in with our free will and our choices. But just to remember that this is faded, and even this, whatever cycle is ending for you, is faded. I'm going to pull some other cards first, but I did want to use the sexual, Tarot Sexual Magic deck. And when I opened to split it, I just had to leave it open because we have like, it's almost like an 11, 11, 11, the Magician and Ace of Pentacles. So I feel like this is kind of an overall energy as well. The masculine wanting to manifest this new beginning. So we'll get into that one a little bit later. But, yeah, let's see. How do we get... card. Okay, let's go in for the masculine. Sorry, I know this video is dark. I just didn't want the bright lights on. Anything else for this just connection? So we have the discontent and boredom card. This reminds me of the Four of Cups, but we have this masculine figure and there's this castle in the background with blue skies. It almost reminds me of like Wizard of Oz type of energy, like a magical world. And he is looking at like his current life, the castle that he lives in. He's feeling discontent, bored with his current situation. Like we also have these rainbow lights, which I think is interesting, along with that magical Wizard of Oz, like follow the rainbow, or is that a part of the Wizard of Oz? I don't know. But that just is, it's like uniting this theme for me. And this is like, I feel like the energy from the connection of the twins is shining. It's shining into him, showing him that his current world is not fulfilling to him. But there still isn't like a bridge to get to this other castle. It looks like there is a walkway, but it's just not, it's not direct. It's not a direct route. We also have victory and success. The masculine is wanting this with the connection, kind of like that warrior spirit. I'm seeing these as similar energies, just having this passion ignited within you. Like when you've won the battle, you just, like I'm just seeing this guy blowing the horn and having so much like rigor with it. So you know, the masculine does want this, and the cards add up to a 10. So like with the conclusion card, ending of a cycle. We also have recognition and reward. I feel like the masculine is finally, I don't know, I'm being corrected not to use the word finally, but he is recognizing this connection as a gift from above. He also may be putting in work to do some healing. This is a medal around his neck. And I'm just picturing someone in the Olympics winning this medal, and there's just this reverence, just this thankfulness. And I feel like this energy is overcoming the masculine. And it's this energy. Here's a 1 card again, just starting at his base chakra. Maybe this Kundalini energy awakening. Okay, what's going on with the masculine? For the masculine. I wanted to do a reading for the connection and touch on both the feminine and masculine polarities. It seems like a lot wants to come out on the masculine side, but we'll still touch on everything. Oh, that's interesting. For the masculine, we have self-love. So it feels like almost this, like the baton is being passed, thinking of the Olympics. The baton is being passed to the masculine to learn self-love. The feminine have been learning this throughout this whole journey. And it's been precipitated or propelled by this twin flame connection, by this energy. But this is something that the masculine needs to learn. He needs to, this is something he needs to heal before the connection can come together, before both polarities can be in union with themselves. Interesting. And what about for the feminine? For the feminine. This is nice. This is so interesting. So we have, this is a master teacher card, soul connection crystal, the lovers, and it's 2 identical crystals. I feel like this is actually just a reminder for the feminine that this is a strong soul connection. Not that she's forgetting, but to not lose hope. Like, these 2 crystals are connected. They're fused together. There's nothing either of them can do about it. And before I started this reading, like, I was called to bring this crystal over by me. And I've got another one too. So very interesting that came out. With the master teacher card, I'm just feeling like, the feminine could be a healer, a teacher, may use crystals. This may be a good time to use crystals for the connection. And there's still maybe some healing to do. Like, I feel like, the feminine has been feeling left out in the cold, but really this connection has been there the whole time. So focusing healing on that. It looks like crystal quartz to me. Yeah. Crystal quartz point. Very interesting. And we have balance at the bottom of the deck, and followed by new beginnings, spiritual awakening. I keep seeing the card meditation as well. If you don't meditate, this could just be a reminder to start. Maybe you'll find more answers doing that. Work to create more balance within, to create it in the connection as well. This will help new beginnings form. And the new beginnings will be created from the spiritual awakening. Oh, look. Oh, we got selenite, I was going to say. it looks like a crystal quartz point, but I do have some selenite that looks like that crystal as well. Yeah, this is for the feminine, but I do feel like both in the connection. I feel like this is more actually about the connection. There's spiritual awakenings going on that will allow these new beginnings and the chapters, old chapters that are no longer useful in this timeline, to close out. And the candle just crackled, so I want to see some upcoming energy, maybe, or maybe just, let's see. I'm gonna put the feminine over here, masculine, and the connection can be in the middle. No. This conclusion card wants to stay with the masculine energy. So that's something in his life. What is this conclusion about? What is this conclusion about? The masculine. So we have the Ace of Cups and 10 of Pentacles in reverse. This masculine is in some sort of long-term commitment right now. It may not be a marriage necessarily. It could just be like a work partnership. Someone he lives with, a relationship, a marriage. But this is in the reverse, so this conclusion is about like the ending of something long-term for him. And that may have to do with family as well. And then the Ace of Cups in reverse. This commitment did not bring him this joyous love and true love that maybe he thought it would at one point. And it also, this commitment also hasn't allowed him to offer any love to anyone else or himself. Very interesting. What comes next after this conclusion? What comes next? See. Okay, we'll take them all. Okay. Let me just take a look at these energies. So we have the Emperor in reverse for what comes next after the end of this conclusion. I feel like there is time needed for him to heal and bring stability back into his life. This ending may throw him off a little bit, but with the energy in reverse, you know, he's almost there. I'm going to set it up just to help send that positive energy. Yeah, 3 of Wands in reverse as well. Like, he may feel a little bit unsure which direction to go, since with this long-term commitment, like that was kind of how he planned for the future. That was what he thought would always be there. So it's just, this is like a reassessing energy, like what will bring him this stability. Yeah, I feel like it just is going to cause him a little bit of uncertainty. Like where he's going to feel like he's lost his grounding a little bit. Yeah, and then we have the Ace of Swords, clear decisions, truth, communication. I feel like, you know, he'll be getting new ideas. Like he's going to make a decision. He just needs a little bit of time after this conclusion to heal, to adjust, just to adjust his energy to his new environment, to his new reality. Like he's going to feel at a crossroads, but with this Ace of Swords, he's going to be making a decision. He's going to see the truth and start making plans. And his plan is going to lead to the Page of Cups. Message in a bottle. A lot of emotion and love energy here. So, and the page, you know, that's might be a small offer or just the beginning. But, I mean, what more can you expect after someone goes through a huge transition and conclusion? And I feel like even though this is a small message of love, there is a lot more. I'm hearing like there's an ocean of love behind this. You may not see how they feel about you. And then we have the King of Swords, the World, and Judgment. So yeah, this is really like finishing up this cycle, making decisive movements. He's setting his sword and his crown. Like I can picture him just taking it off, putting it down in the ground and walking away from that which hasn't been fertile and fulfilling in his life, that hasn't brought him growth, that has actually only brought him challenges, like struggle after struggle that he's needed to be there to fix, to defend. And he's setting it all down. He's going to close out this cycle and this decision, this pause and review, absolute decision. You know, I feel like this is sort of being orchestrated from the divine. Like this has gone on for too long. But yeah, this to me it just feels like a clear cutting of a tie. And then we also have the Ten of Cups. So that is what is coming. Happiness, joy, peace, family, contentment. It's just going to take a little while to get there. What about the feminine? What do we have going on coming up for the feminine while all these changes are taking place? We have a Tower. I feel like this is actually just like a lot of release. This change, even though I just feel like you may not have expected it to be possible or to happen, and it may just cause like kind of a shock. You may have more energy to release, more things to heal. This reminds me of an abandoned like theme park. I feel like actually this healing will be around any abandonment issues that you have, especially related to this masculine polarity, having abandoned you in the past. He's been in this commitment for a long time, so there is this abandonment energy that it's just like there, this like desolate, it's there within you, and that needs to be released. We also have the Star and the Nine of Cups. So it's like this wish that you had, like trust that this wish that you had, have faith, believe that it's possible to come together. Wishes fulfilled. So we've got like the wish, and then wishes, the Nine of Cups is behind it. Wishes fulfilled. This is what's coming for the feminine. We also have Five of Swords. This could also be releasing this Tower, releasing any, they're kind of the similar color, so any attachment to like past conflict, feeling of defeat, competition, not getting entangled in these emotions that I feel have been lingering. But like you can untie yourself, you can take off this mask. We have the Moon card at the bottom, illusion, fear, hidden truths. But the light is shining on this feminine. So any illusions or fears that you have are just related to things that need to be healed. Still, these shadow aspects, there's just a little bit more healing that needs to be done. There's something like that's deep in that is attached. But I feel like that is like, that's like the, I'm hearing like that's the last straw. We'll always have healing and learning and growing to do, but I feel like that is the big one. That's the big one. Okay. Masculine, let's see the feminine. I love the Thunderbolt card for the masculine. So the masculine sees the feminine. He sees this energy of her, this light, he experiences it. He feels it as this intensity that he's like, he can't help. It's like this magnetized feeling. He can't help but be pulled towards it. And I feel like her light is pulling him out of this darkness. And he's feeling the intensity of this connection. She brings a sense of innocence to him. This masculine is, I feel like this is the feminine, and he is just looking at her in wonderment, and she's like looking at him like it's a walking stick. But he's just like enjoying this present moment. Like it's like making his heart flutter, you know, when you have a cool interaction with an animal. You know, it's just like this exciting, lighthearted feeling, and you can't help but smile, and you bring this to him. We also have flowering. He sees you as flowering, as growing into your Empress power, like very abundant. And Thunderbolt is at the bottom of the deck, which I just love because we have this image of this man meditating, and it's forcing this tower, and the people are falling out of it. Like, it's just this realization that is hitting him so strongly. It's like lighting up all of his chakras. He's just really awakening to this connection, the intensity of it, having revelations about which direction to go. It's so strong that it's just forcing any old energies out. I love that card for the masculine. What about the feminine? How does she view the masculine, or what's That should be the masculine. Okay. We have past lives. Recognizing that this is a past life connection. We also have harmony. I feel like she's seeing him as getting more in touch with his emotions and inner guidance, and seeing more moments of this harmony with him and participation, that he's participating in the connection differently than before. And we have the Master at the bottom of the deck. This card is always so interesting to me to look at. It actually reminds me of when you look into the eyes of your twin, and it's almost like looking at yourself. Or, I mean, I guess technically it is, but it's just this weird, way to experience, like this weird perception or experience where for the first time it happens, you just don't know what to make of it. To me, this just is symbolizing this like deep soul connection and mirroring element, like the mirrors come together, just one, like we're one. Okay. Let's see. Actually, let's do I did shuffle these already. Okay, it's the energy for the feminine from the masculine. The feminine from the masculine. Too many. This is talking about the abandonment energy again. The masculine is aware that his long-term commitment situation that he's been in has been leaving the feminine in this state of feeling, it's the Five of Cups, but it's kind of like feeling left out in the cold. The sadness. And he's like trying to bring her flowers. He wants this energy to pass. He does. I'm feeling a very strong sexual connection, but it's much deeper. It's not. It's like a very strong soul connection. So we have the 10 of Wands with the High Priestess. He, like this burden of having you in secret. The secret is just getting to be too much. We have the World card at the bottom. Like there's just all of these cycles that this masculine wants to end. The Four of Cups behind that. Like he just wants these new cycles that close out energies of abandonment, sadness for the connection. He doesn't want this to be something kept in secret any longer. And he realizes that he's been hurting you, and he's starting to feel that it's hurting himself as well. What is the masculine healing, or what needs to heal in the relationship? What is the masculine healing? What is the masculine healing? We have higher learning. He is learning what is his 10 of Cups. He's learning from his past mistakes. And researching like how to move forward, learning about spirituality. I don't know if he's actively trying to learn about it, but it's just like he's starting to listen to his guidance. It's coming to him. He's learning by watching you. We also have change, renewal, and releasing obstructions. And that was in the reverse. So, I mean, this is coming with this conclusion. He's going to be making big changes in his life. And there are still obstructions on the feminine side too, related to those energies of abandonment that need to be released. At the bottom we have bottled up, repressed, pent up, and needing release. So yeah, just these final releases are going to take place while this conclusion is wrapping up. What is the feminine? I just saw a bird's eye view, having a different perspective of the situation, looking at it from a higher lens, not focusing on the minutia. I'm hearing. Think about the greater purpose on a global scale. Anything for the feminine? Quench your thirst, be receptive, rehydrate, replenish yourself. So yeah, do any healing necessary. Oh, interesting. Processing energies, an adjustment period, settling of energies. You know, and this card is 55, so changes. 19 adds up to a 10. You know, this may be relating to what I talked about earlier about just the weird sense of like death energy that I've been experiencing, and I'm curious if anyone else is. But it just seems like this is an adjustment period, even with this conclusion, the releasing of any of these stagnant energies that are still lingering and causing you pain, heartache, holding you back, like not allowing you to fully focus on your mission or things that just bring you joy. So yeah, just think of it as just the energies are settling. It may take a little bit of time, and while that's happening, be receptive to the energy changes, remain open, but make sure you take care of yourself. Like drink lots of water if you need to, take baths, whatever it is that helps you just reset your energy. And we also have pick up your sword, take a stand, be heard, support a cause. So, you know, maybe just take a stand for what it is that you do want to work on, your cause that you want to support, your mission. You may have to take a stand with your masculine while these energies are settling. But this is like a closed off energy to me too. And I feel like if there is something you need to take a stand about, do it more where the sword is laid down, not here. So you're more receptive and open. Try to remain in that open energy. Okay. Let's get some C melody. I'm going to wrap it up soon. Just get energy, overall energy from the masculine side. energy. Recharge. There's nothing like a walk on the beach to soothe your soul. This is going with after this conclusion, like he's going to need a little bit of time to recharge and heal before he can embody the qualities of the Emperor. We also have communicate at the bottom. Things left unsaid will never reach the shore. I feel like this is big with the twin flame connection. There's so much that we don't say or we can't say. And we can communicate in the 5D to a certain extent. But I feel like this is on the masculine side. Like there's something that he needs to communicate to you. It may be about this ending. It may be about his feelings, what he wants. I'm sure it's like all of this, right? The feminine polarities would love any sort of communication. I do feel like the communication will come in after this like set of recharge and renewal. We have optimism underneath that. After each rainstorm, there will be clear skies. So the feminine, just make sure, to do your healing and remember to stay positive. Sorry, I gotta stretch. Yeah, just stay positive. I know that can get tiring to hear, right? We can feel so beat down sometimes with this connection. We have self-love again, which had come out earlier for the masculine. We also have sanctuary. So maybe just creating this space for you to replenish yourself and heal while, your masculine is making these changes. Both of you, like self-love is the ultimate thing that we need to learn in this connection. So just know that your masculine, like he needs to learn that as well. That's going to be this upcoming lesson for him. I feel like this is actually tied to the conclusion card for the chapter in his life. Like he's being pushed to do this out of self-love, this warrior spirit. And then we have love, fighting for love. I love that. I got chills. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much for listening. If you're interested in a personal reading for your specific situation, for your person, for you, just where you guys are on the journey or any questions, upcoming energies, I would love to do one. See the description box below for info on that. And like, subscribe, comment if you resonate with any of this. I love reading your comments. So yeah, thank you very much. And I hope everyone has a great night.